Such as?
That document or whatever it is Edward is carrying around.
What about
It could be our eviction notice.
What do you mean?
I mean, they could be divorce papers. If I'm left out in the cold, you would be too, Tony. We'd both be penniless.
Divorce? Are things that bad between you?
Edward has grown tired, and I suspect he's already picked my replacement. At first I thought he was simply having a mild flirtation with that Dixie Cream donut Peggy Sue. But now, I'm not so sure.
Peggy Sue. I mean, she's a knockout, but you're more sophisticated than she is. More glamorous than she is.
20 years older than she is. That hominy-fed hussy has one thing I know, Tony. Youth. And that's one thing Edward's money can't buy me.
Edward's money. Should be your money, too. If he hadn't made you sign that agreement.
But he did. I'm afraid the only way Edward's money could possibly become mine is if he were to drop dead before he divorced me.
Hold it. Can we get some more lights, please? And kill the storm. I'll save the rain until close to the end of the scene. That looked pretty good. You two can take a break. I'll bring you back in a few minutes when I can introduce you properly. Hello. You caught us in an intense moment. I was working on a little scene. Well, you'll see it later. I'm a writer. A playwright, to be exact. No, that's not entirely accurate. I represent a playwright. I'm his alter ego, so to speak. It would probably help if I had a name. Let's see. Writer's alter ego. Alter. I know. How about Walter? Close enough? Fine. We'll call me Walter. Here's the deal. I thought you all might find it interesting to see how I commit a murder. And that's an offer you don't get every day. Do you? The easiest way to show you is to deconstruct the crime. So that's what we're going to do. Now, pay close attention. Once you see how easy it is to knock somebody off, you might want to go and try it yourself. In your imagination, of course. When I start a new play, the first thing I try to picture is the setting. I'm partial to old mansions like this one that's dark and gloomy. A room such as this creates the perfect ambiance for a murder to occur, don't you think? I like fireplaces and French doors, and use them often. When the room lights go out, glowing embers and pale moonlight provide just the right amount of low lighting to evoke a sinister atmosphere. For example, see what I mean? It sort of makes me want to pull out a gun, or a knife, or garrote, doesn't it? Also, French doors work great if you wish to throw in a thunderstorm. Pretty chilling, huh? I've learned to keep the storm effects to a minimum, though. If they go for too long, people start popping up in the audience and rushing to the restrooms. That can be terribly distracting. 86 storm. That's better. I had a feeling you were about to take off up the aisle. If you can hold it till intermission, I'd be extremely grateful. To get back to the subject, sliding doors are good, especially for sudden entrances, and I usually show the base of the staircase and beyond, so you all get the sense of the house is at least 2 stories high. Characters can come and go up and down into their bedrooms, presumably. A passageway here gives them an entrance and exit to the kitchen and other rooms downstairs. Off of the right, there is a door, and its purpose is to create the sound effect for people coming into and going out of the house. See? Another door above the fireplace leads to the parlor, providing yet another access for the murderer to do his thing. Or hers, should I choose to use it for that purpose. When it comes to killers, I'm an equal opportunity playwright. Which brings us to the subject of the suspects. I'd like you all to meet the possible murderers in tonight's little mystery comedy. There are quite a few of them, though. It wouldn't be much fun trying to guess who the killer was if there are only a couple suspects to choose from. Now, would it? Let's start with the ones you saw earlier. Olivia, Tony, come back in. Oh, and I need to mention, this is the living room of powerful and ruthless millionaire Edward Worthington III. You all will be surprised how long I take thinking of just the right names for my play's characters. Edward Worthington fits a mature man with a strong personality, and III suggests old money handed down through several generations. Admit it, you wouldn't conjure up that if I named him Jack Spratt, now would you? You'll meet Edward later, and as you'll discover, many of the other characters have strong feelings toward the man, including these two. This is Olivia, Edward's wife, his second wife to be precise. Help me out.
When Edward grew tired of his first wife, Justine, he divorced her and married me. It's an old story. Middle-aged man dumps first spouse for trophy wife. I suppose I should be grateful he didn't name me Heisman.
Not a chance, my dear. Although I go for laughs, I do draw the line at low comedy. Allegra suits you perfect. The name is beautiful, mysterious, like you.
Thank you. I shall do my best to live up to it.
My name's Tony Blackwell. I'm a playboy. Can I help it if women find me irresistible? Hey, you. Lady in the third row. What's up, gorgeous? Mind meeting me after the show? I know a quiet little place where we can have an intimate supper for two. After that, we can go back to my place, turn on some romantic music.
Time out! You had better not make me plans for later, Tony. If I decide to make you the murderer, you might find yourself in an intimate little jail cell.
Alright. How about a rain check?
I use playboys in my shows fairly often. They invariably try to seduce one of the young women. A sweet, innocent maid, for example, that adds suspense to the story. Will she succumb to his charms or won't she? That's called the subplot. At any rate, let me warn you, madam. If you do decide to make a date with Tony, I absolve myself of all responsibility for his actions once the play is over. I can control him here on the stage, but out in the real world, well, moving right along. Why don't you two be seated while I continue introductions? Justine, Deborah. Allegra mentioned Justine Worthington, Edward's ex-wife. This is she and her daughter, Deborah, a college student. Justine, what are your feelings towards your former husband?
I despise the
Remember, this is a G-rated show.
old goat. When I married Edward, I was young and attractive. I gave him a beautiful daughter, Deborah. But when I failed to provide him with a male heir that was as powerful and money-hungry as he was, he made my life a living nightmare. Poor Mom. Father didn't mistreat me. He ignored me. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I had these long curls that fell down to my waist. One day, I took a pair of scissors and cut it into a 1-inch fur cut. That was years before girls ever considered such a style. Your beautiful curls. I thought that if I looked more like a boy, Father would pay attention to me. I don't think he noticed. I might have been able to excuse Edward for the way he treated me, but his behavior towards our daughter, I'll resent him until the day I die. Or he does.
We get the picture. Be seated, ladies. Edward has one other family member we have to introduce. His sister, Beatrice Worthington. Beatrice is several years older than Edward and helped raise him since their parents were jet setters, who were constantly zipping around the globe, leaving their offspring at home in care of nursemaids and servants. Beatrice is somewhat befuddled, and it's possible her brother allows her to stay in this house more from a sense of duty than any feelings of affection for a sibling.
Did somebody call you?
Yes, Miss Worthington, come down, please. Say hello to all these nice people.
People? Oh, hello. So nice to see you. I don't go out much, so I rarely get to meet anyone, except for Edward's associates who call occasionally, and I never seem to understand what they're talking about. Oh dear, I didn't realize so many guests were coming to Edward's birthday party. I don't think we'll have nearly enough food.
Don't fret, Miss Worthington. They won't be joining us for dinner.
Good. Oh dear, it's not that you're not welcome.
Consider yourself lucky. Stage food is seldom what it's supposed to be. Mashed bananas or whipped potatoes, that sort of thing. Starving actors usually love dinner scenes, though, and will eat anything not nailed down, although there are still some food substitutions that even they shudder to think about. You did very nicely, Miss Worthington. Have a seat.
All right.
As Beatrice mentioned, tonight's gathering is for a special occasion, Edward Worthington's birthday, his 50th, in fact. If you're wondering why his former wife would be present at such an event, it's because Justine was ordered to. And since Edward pays her alimony checks, Justine bit the bullet and showed up. The birthday boy and his current wife have not been getting along lately. I suspect Edward had Justine present to remind Allegra how easily he could dispose of her if she crosses him one time too many. I doubt if it's crossed Edward's mind how easily Allegra could get fed up and dispose of him in a different way. Baby brother Tony would be only too willing to help her. But I digress. Let's bring out the other party guests. Roy, Connie. Roy Phillips is Edward's business manager. He's responsible for overseeing Edward's vast fortunes, which includes the money he inherited, as well as the millions generated yearly by Worthington Enterprises. A conglomerate of newspapers, television stations, and other media-related companies is a staggering responsibility that requires a serious-minded individual. No wonder Roy is always so uptight. Displays all the warmth and humor of a popsicle.
If Edward wanted to laugh, he'd hire a comedian. I've worked for Edward for 20 years. My employer is brilliant at running his business, but he depends on me totally to control his finances. Sometimes I wonder if he really appreciates how well I do my job.
I have no doubt you're great at it. They say behind every great man stands a great woman. No, Connie, that's just a figure of speech.
Oh, I thought... Oh, never mind.
The woman behind Roy, figuratively speaking, is his wife, Connie. Her and her husband are as mismatched as striped pants and a plaid shirt. Connie is as giddy as Roy is somber.
Oh, I'm not that bad. He's only saying that because I got lost in a super Walmart for an entire day. It could happen to anyone.
To be fair, I will add that she spent part of that time searching for her car in the parking lot.
You've done that too, right?
Roy, if you'll help Connie find the sofa, we'll continue. Another business associate of Edward's I've introduced is his personal secretary, Peggy Sue Brumley. Peggy Sue! Peggy Sue comes from Alabama, possibly with a banjo on her knee. I say that because Peggy Sue's your typical Southern belle. She goes by both her first and middle names, of course. South of the Mason-Dixie line, you'll find lots of Peggy Sues. Peggy Lee's, Peggy Jean's, Peggy Ann's, whatever.
Well, that helps you tell all us Peggy's apart, Sugarloaf.
Well, shut my mouth. Say hi to all the folks, honey child.
Hi, y'all.
I confess, I have a great affection for Southern women. They're charming, funny, and very bright. Although they're great at hiding that fact if they want to. They could easily get away with murder because we've never suspect a sweet young thing like Peggy Sue to be capable of such a grisly crime.
Well, I certainly hope not. I don't know why Walter would even suggest such a thing. Murder indeed. Very idea just gives me the shivers. Besides, you'd have to dislike someone heaps and heaps to want them dead. And I get along fine with everybody. Well, just about.
And Edward?
Edward? Edward can be extremely demanding at times and real rude when he's in a bad mood. And he gets in bad moods a lot. I admit he does ruffle my feathers sometimes, but you can't murder someone for having an unpleasant disposition, can you?
Anything's possible. How about joining the family at the table, Peggy Sue?
Sure thing, sweetie.
I have one last business associate of Edward's to introduce. Lawrence! Lawrence Tate is a lawyer, but that doesn't necessarily make him a villain of the piece, though. There's no doubt the man knows how to drop a legal paper. If Lawrence had been around in 1776, he could have whipped out the Declaration of Independence in 15 minutes.
Thank you. I'll accept the compliment because it happens to be true. I guess you could say I'm especially adept to writing the modern equivalent to the Declaration of Independence. To wit, divorce papers. Don't believe me? Just ask Justine Worthington. It's also possible that Allegra Worthington might be able to attest to that fact in the near future. Both women have also learned the hard way that I can create a marriage contract that is ironclad, one that protects Edward from fortune hunters with complete success.
Thank you for the information, Lawrence.
Anytime. You'll receive my bill in the mail.
I have only myself to blame. I created it. We have one more set of introductions, then let's get the show on the road. The servants. Staff. In real life, it would take the staff the size of a small platoon to run a mansion as large as Worthington Manor, but for our purposes, these four will represent them quite nicely. Sound off, troops.
I am Hollister, the butler. I picture Worthington Manor as a huge ocean liner of which I am the captain. The others will tell you I run a tight ship.
That's the truth, and I like it that way. I'm Mrs. Vickers, the housekeeper. Mr. Worthington's home is a show place, and I intend to keep it that way.
I'm Ina, the cook. Somebody didn't give me a last name, so it's just Ina. I do my job, keep my ears open and mouth shut. You'd be surprised when I could tell you about the people who live under this roof, but I won't.
I'm Edith, the maid. I'm kind of shy, and I wish I didn't have to stand up here and talk about myself. I heard what you said about Mr. Tony trying to seduce maids, and that makes me nervous too.
Don't worry, my dear. We'll deal with Tony when the time comes. If I may take center stage. Here you have it. Cast of characters in tonight's little mystery. Well, most of them. They include, as you recall, Edward's wife and her playboy brother, his ex-wife and their daughter, his sister, his business manager, his wife, his personal secretary, his lawyer, and the household staff. They'll start off the show while I summon Edward Worthington III, the key figure in tonight's story. Can I get a blackout and some mood music to provide the transition, please?
Ina sent me in with the hors d'oeuvres, Mrs. Vickers.
Set them on the table, Edith, though I don't have much of an appetite.
That would be a shame. Ina has prepared a wonderful dinner. Pot roast, gravy, whipped potatoes.
Oh. She could have saved herself the trouble and opened a can of Spam. Believe me, this crowd will have their mind on the cooking.
What do you mean?
I mean, the guests know Mr. Worthington wouldn't invite them here for the pleasure of their company. He's civil to them, at best. Mark my words, the boss is up to something.
I hope it doesn't get unpleasant. I hate scenes.
Well, then you better find a broom closet to take shelter in. I know Mr. Worthington, and I know what he's capable of.
You come on in here, Miss Beatrice. Hollis will announce dinner when it's ready. I found her sitting at the dinner table with a knife in one hand and a fork in the other. I'll take this. I'm hungry.
There's a tray of Ida's lovely hors d'oeuvres from the table, Miss Beatrice. Why don't you have some of those?
I believe I will. I have to get back to the Brussels sprouts. Edith, come with me. And you better bring in another tray of hors d'oeuvres. Yes, ma'am. If you could keep her in here, I'd appreciate it.
I think she's content where she is.
Edith?
Miss Beatrice, I need you to sit right here and wait for the others. They'll be here shortly. I have to check the dining room one last time for anyone who cares to retire there after dinner.
Retire? Is it time to go to bed?
No, Miss Beatrice. Just enjoy your snack.
Snack? Oh, yes. Do you want some? You can have the ones with the black things on them.
They're olives.
I don't like them. You eat them.
No, thank you. There's a tray of mints on the table as well. I'll check on you later. Poor woman.
Nasty.
I feel like a hypocrite. Besides, what do you give someone who makes more money in a day than you do in a lifetime? Doormat that everyone can kneel on and kiss his feet?
I think he owns several already. What did you get him?
Necktie. It's the closest thing to a noose I can think of. What about you?
A gold-plated pen and pencil set. Since everything Edward touches turns to gold anyways, I figured it'd be appropriate. Presents? Are those for me? No, Beatrice, they're for your brother. It's Edward's birthday. It is? That's right, it is. Oh dear. I forgot to buy Bubba a birthday present, but I suppose I could give him a little something I happened to pick up. That's not necessary. I'll put these over here.
Hors d'oeuvres. They look good.
Most of them are.
I wasn't very hungry anyways.
What is it?
Some kind of beetle, I think. I don't know, it must have came in through the French doors.
It's clouding over. The TV weatherman said there was a storm approaching.
Oh, how appropriate. Could get some past to his inside as well as out.
Tony, Edward has been very difficult to deal with lately. Try not to do anything that might upset him.
I'll try, sister dear. But the very fact that I breathe the same air seems to upset Edward.
Excuse me? Oh.
More nibbles. How nice. I'll put these over here.
You're looking very pretty tonight, Edith.
It must be the dress.
Thank you, Mr. Blackwell. You look nice in your tuxedo and all.
Edith, I imagine Ina could come up with something for you to do in the kitchen. Why don't you find out?
Yes, ma'am.
Really, Tony, leave the girl alone. You'd be better off trying to charm some young heiress who could provide for you. I don't think Edward is going to allow me to help you out much longer.
Ah, the old skinflint. But not to worry, Allegra. I have enough charm to go around for both heiresses and pretty maids. Ah, the guests are starting to arrive.
Is the Avon lady here?
No, Beatrice, eat your hors d'oeuvres.
What a good idea.
Come in. Let me hang your coats.
Thank you, Hollister.
Life of the party is here.
The Phillips.
Hey, royal boy.
Tony. Allegra.
Roy, Connie.
Allegra, you look beautiful. I love your dress. I wish I could find one like it.
I don't think they carry Armani at Walmart.
You might be right, but I'll ask next time I'm there.
You do that.
Where is our host?
He should be down shortly. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll get us something to drink.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre?
Oh, I don't mind if I do. Good evening, Miss Beatrice. May I join you?
I guess so. Eat the snacks with the black things on them.
You rang Mrs. Worthington?
Yes, Edith, you may begin to serve the wine.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Roy, how are things down at the office?
Under control.
I wouldn't doubt it in the least.
How are things wherever it is you spend your time?
Couldn't be better, Roy. Couldn't be better.
Miss Brumley, let me hang your coat.
I'll have to get Edith to bring in some southern comfort.
Thanks a bunch, Hollister. Here, be a lamb and hold this.
Or maybe a pint of Jack Daniels.
Miss Brumley.
Evening, everybody.
My goodness, Peggy Sue. That is the biggest present I've ever seen. What is it?
For Edward? Probably a money clip.
Actually, it's a year's supply of caramel corn. The clerk assured me it wouldn't get stale.
What does he care? He probably retired after he made that sale.
Oh, it didn't cost a whole heap, Allegra, honey. It's a token gift anyway. Edward already has everything his little old heart desires.
Does he now?
Ron, Tony, y'all look mighty spiffy tonight.
So do you, Peggy Sue.
Good evening.
In fact, I'd say they ought to outlaw a dress like that on a woman like you. The combination could be highly combustible.
Flatterer.
Wine? Not a moment too soon.
I wouldn't mind a little bubbly. Mrs. Phillips.
Thank you, Edith. Miss Beatrice, would you care for a glass?
What's in it?
Wine.
No thanks. If it smells bright, I don't want it.
Edith, run along and set up round two.
Yes, ma'am.
Roy, come join us.
Yes, dear.
Peggy Sue.
Well, thank you, Tony.
That must be Lawrence. Everyone else is here.
Mr. Tate, please, come in.
Ah, you're right, Allegra.
It had to be here, the delivery boy from Domino's. And I know for a fact that Ina cooked a roast, gravy, whipped potatoes.
This way. Mr. Tate.
Good evening, Lawrence.
Allegra, everyone? For Pete's sake, Lawrence, why do you have your briefcase? This is a party. Have you gotten to the point where you've attached that thing at your wrist with handcuffs like a diplomatic courier?
No, Roy. There's some important papers in here that Edward insisted I break in tonight. This is for him as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, he asked me to meet him up in his suite as soon as I arrived.
How typical of Edward. Never stops thinking about business, even on his birthday. What was that?
If someone's stomach is growling, they can eat the snacks with the black things on them.
It was thunder. At least everyone got here before the storm arrived.
Yes, everyone is here. Now everyone is here. Justine, who invited you to the party?
Edward, he didn't invite me, he ordered me to be here. Father ordered me as well. Since he paid my tuition, I didn't have a choice, did I?
Hello, Deborah dear.
Hello, Auntie.
Justine, dear, why didn't you use the front door? Did you get lost?
No, Connie.
My sense of direction is fine. I didn't care to have Hollister let me in. After all, this used to be my house, and he used to be my butler. It would have been an awkward experience for the both of us. I prefer to let myself in.
Come on, Mom, let's go hang up our coats.
I've set up games in the parlor if anyone cares to play after dinner.
Mrs. Vickers, Justine and Deborah Worthington just arrived unexpectedly. I'm afraid we'll need 2 more places set at the dining table.
It's done. I knew they were coming.
And you didn't tell me?
And you didn't ask?
More wine, anyone? Why, Mrs. Worthington. I mean the other one. And Miss Deborah, would you care for some wine?
Thanks. Thank you, Edith.
Set the tray on the table, Edith, and help me check the dining room one last time.
Yes, Mrs. Vickers.
You can ring if you need anything. Edith?
Well, at least Ina's a good cook. So we'll get a decent meal out of this fiasco. What's for dinner?
Roast beef, gravy, whipped potatoes.
That sounds good.
Deborah, darling, why don't you and your mother join us? Sit still.
All right.
This will do fine. My, what a gathering. Edward's loving family and dearest friends. What a joke.
Did someone tell a joke? I must have missed it.
Don't worry about it, Beatrice. I'll have to tell Mrs. Vickers to call an Orkin man.
Edward is coming down.
Why, get up, everybody. We have to toast the birthday boy. Here, Lawrence. Happy birthday, Edward. Cheers.
Hold it. A player performs all the roles in his head as he writes a show. I needed a really good actor to play this part, so I thought I'd jump in and do Edward for you. Carry on.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hip. Forget it, Beatrice. 2 hips aren't enough for anything.
I see you've all managed to arrive. Very good. I promise you, this will be a night you'll all remember.
Here, Edward Sugar. You need a glass of wine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, darling.
Sit down, everyone. I have an announcement to make. When a man reaches the half-century mark, it makes him think, where have I been? Where am I going? What do I plan to do with the rest of my life?
You ready, sir?
Yes, Edith. Tell all the other servants I want you in here. Now,
Yes, sir.
as I was saying, what do I plan to do with the rest of my life? I intend to make some important changes. For one thing,
Changes? What kind of changes?
it's precisely what I brought you all together to discuss.
Edith informed us you wish to see us, sir.
Yes, Hollister. I wanted all of my family, closest business associates, and servants present while I make an announcement. Each and every one of you in this room depends on me to provide you a living. And thus far, I've provided you all very well. You would think my generosity would gain me your appreciation, if not affection. What it appears, though, someone here feels is resentment, perhaps even hatred. It's come to my attention that one amongst you is a traitor.
You suspect one of us to be your enemy?
I don't suspect. I know. And I have proof. Lawrence. I had Lawrence bring me this. Inside is the evidence of my traitor's duplicity. I promise you all, before this evening is over, this person will pay dearly.
Edward, if you're planning to punish one of us in some way, why don't you do whatever you're going to do now and get it over with?
I was wondering the same thing, Mr. Worthington, if you don't mind me saying so.
I intend to let this worm squirm a while before squashing it. I see you've brought me gifts. Very good. After dinner, I'll open them, concluding with this, my birthday present to myself. That is when I'll rid myself of a backstabbing sycophant once and for all. But for now, let the festivities begin. What are we having for dinner, Ina?
Your favorite, sir. Roast beef, gravy, whipped potatoes.
Can hardly wait. Sounds like a dinner to die for. As you've no doubt guessed, that was a blackout to show the end of Act 1. Scene 1. In my mysteries, that's the scene where I introduce you to the characters and give you an idea of their relationships to one another. This is called exposition. In tonight's production, the scene was a little shorter than usual since they and I told you a little about them before the play began. Now, let's get into scene 2. About 2 hours later, this is the scene where the plot thickens. Make that the plot, like gravy, thickens. I had to get the full title in there. Act 1, Scene 2.
Edward, darling, what you doing in here all by your lonesome? Nearly everybody's in the parlor playing games till you're ready to open your gifts and make your announcement. Well, they're going through the motions. Nobody's really interested in Monopoly or Clue.
I know a better game. Why don't you and I slip off and play one of our own? In private.
Sugar, we can't do that here. You know that.
I don't like being told no, Peggy Sue. You know that.
Now, don't you lose your temper, sweet pea. Besides, for all I know, I might be the one you're planning to fire or whatever.
You? Have you been up to no good, Peggy Sue?
Of course not. I'd never do anything to hurt you, honey lamb. But someone could have told you I have been. Allegra, for instance, she hates me. I just hate it when somebody hates me.
Allegra has never said a word against you.
If she hasn't, it's because she's afraid to. I'm sure she suspects I'm more to you than an employee, but she doesn't dare confront you about it. She knows if she forced you to choose between the two of us, you'd toss her aside like a used Kleenex.
You think so?
Well, of course. You told me you made her sign that prenuptial agreement, didn't you? Like the one Justine had to.
Well, of course. I'm too smart to let some fortune hunter take me for millions.
But before you divorce them, your wives get to live like queens. Allegra has ridden the merry-go-round long enough. It's someone else's turn. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll have finally found a woman you'll want to live with the rest of your life.
We'll see, Peggy Sue. After tonight, there could be quite a few changes around here.
Fine. If you'll excuse me, I need to slip into one of the upstairs bathrooms and freshen up. Now don't you go and make your announcement until I get back. I don't suppose you'd tell me who it is you plan to reprimand, will you?
I can't do that, Peggy Sue.
Even if I pout.
Even if you pout.
Well, I won't waste the pucker. They make little lines around your mouth anyway. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Here you are, Edward.
Were you looking for me, Beatrice?
Yes,
What is it?
I listened to what you said to all of us earlier, but I'm confused.
I expected that.
It seems like you're unhappy with one of us,
At least one.
and you're going to punish someone.
That's my plan.
I hope it's me.
Have you been naughty?
I don't think so. I try to be good. I try really hard.
Then what are you worried about?
Those papers in the envelope you put in your pocket. I'm afraid they're papers to, what do you call them? To put me in a home.
Commitment papers.
Yes, that's it. You wouldn't send me away, little Bubba, would you? I've lived here all my life. Both of us have. This is my home. I don't want to go anywhere else.
I hate to bend you, Beatrice, but if you've done something really bad and need to be punished,
I wouldn't. I haven't.
we'll see. Do you know Mr. Jameson, Beatrice?
Jameson? No, I don't think so.
Paul Jameson.
Jameson. Paul Jameson. Oh, I know I've heard that name before. The other day, when I walked into the library, your lawyer, Mr. Tate, was on the phone. When he saw me, he said, "I'll get back to you, Jameson."
That's very interesting.
Yes, Mr. Worthington?
Oh, sir, my sister is tired. I thought you might have Ina brew her a cup of tea to refresh her.
I'll be glad to. Miss Beatrice, why don't you come with me?
With you, of course. Where are we going, Hollister?
To the kitchen. We're going to have some tea,
A tea party.
if you'd like.
Oh, I would.
Miss Beatrice, you're wearing a very nice perfume. Is it new?
Yes, it's called Primrose.
It won't take but a few moments.
Oh, all right, if you insist. The embers have gone out. What's so important that you pulled me away from that table for? I own Boardwalk and Park Place. If someone lands my property, well, I'm going to lose a fortune in rent.
For Pete's sake, Lawrence, that's just a game.
One that you were losing. I hope you're able to manage Edward's finances better than you do at Monopoly. So, what did you want to see me about?
Those papers Edward had you bring him tonight. What are they?
Good grief, Roy, you know I can't answer such a question. How long do you think Edward would retain me as his lawyer if he found out that I was out here revealing privileged information?
Well, you heard what he said about there being a traitor among the group here tonight. You see, I've transferred some of Edward's funds, quite a sizable amount, to a bank account in my name.
Why would you do that?
There's a major television station Edward's wanted to acquire for a while now, going on the market. If they knew he were interested, they'd double their asking price. I was going to put in an offer, and if they accept, revert the property back to Worthington Enterprises.
I see.
Yes, now that I've told you so, but if he noticed the transfer and didn't know why I did it...
Say no more, Roy. You want some free advice? I'd hang on to that get-out-of-jail-free card you threw.
This is no joking matter.
You're right. So why are you telling me this? Why not tell Edward?
If I'm not the one Edward suspects of betraying him, there's no need to bother him with it. He's never cared for the details of how I invest his money before now.
And why bring this attention to it if you don't have to, right?
Well, yes, so if you'll just tell me if those papers relate to me.
I don't know. What? I have no idea what's in the envelope. Edward instructed me to stop by his office on my way here, look in his desk drawer and take out the blank envelope with the wax seal on it. He then instructed me to bring it here and show him that I had it when I arrived. That's what I did.
I assumed you knew.
As did everybody else, I expect. Edward could have brought the envelope here himself. I figured that he had me bring it to make an example of having me hand it to him, stir everybody up. But the truth is, I'm as much in the dark about its contents as everybody else.
So the papers could relate to you as well as anyone?
Me? Well, I haven't done anything wrong. My conscience is clear.
Is it? Is it really?
Roy! The game's over. Justine won. I would have, but I hid all my money and forgot where I put it. I must have deposited my draw. Now I'm flat busted. My goodness, you two are a pair of bloody gussets. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm going to get a breath of fresh air.
But, Roy dear, it's going to rain. Oh, I wish he wouldn't go out while it's lightning. He could be struck down dead as a doornail. Whatever that is.
Well, I guess he figures that the wrath of Mother Nature is nothing compared to Edward's.
Huh?
Lawrence, we rolled for you and Roy. I stole all your money. You went bankrupt.
So I heard.
I think this belongs to me as well. The way I see it is get it while you can. Edward taught me that. Mom, don't. Don't worry, dear. I'll hold my temper, at least until your father makes his announcement. After that, anything goes. I wish he would just get it over with. I hate suspense. I love murder mysteries, but I always read the last chapter to find out who did it. If you feel a rumble, it's Agatha Christie spinning in her grave. Calm down, Aggie. I hate murders. Murders make me nervous. And when I get nervous, I break out in hives. It's just awful. I'm sure it is. Good thing calamine lotion is so cheap. So, Lawrence, how about telling us what's in the envelope that Edward is holding near to where his heart would be if he had one? I'll make it worth your while.
Roy was in here asking the same thing just moments ago. As I told him, I don't know.
You don't? I thought it might be. Never mind.
Why would you have anything to be concerned about, Deborah?
Father arranges for the college to send my grades each semester. Not that he cares what I'm doing. He just knows he cares what his money's being put towards. And this year, I've had some problems, and I haven't been doing so hot.
And you're afraid that he might cut your tuition?
Yeah.
If he does that, I'll cut off his head. Oh my goodness.
Well, we won't know what Edward has planned until he decides to tell us. Until then, the contents of that envelope remain a mystery.
I'm back at it, honey. Fresh as a daisy. Oh, I thought Edward was in here. Have y'all seen him?
Not lately, which is how I like it.
Ever since his announcement, Edward's been lying low.
Not low enough. I prefer 6 feet under.
Mom, you don't mean that.
Don't I?
The French door's open. I wonder if he went outside.
Oh, no. Roy did. I better go find them before it starts to rain and he gets soaked. I don't think they make drip dry tuxedos, do they? Excuse me. So, you've made yourself fresh as a daisy and you're waiting for Eddie, honey. Just how personal of a secretary are you, Peggy Sue?
I don't have the foggiest notion what you mean.
Oh, I think you do. It seems to me that you're setting yourself up to be the third Mrs. Worthington the third.
What Edward and I do is none of your business.
Maybe and maybe not. But if Edward decides to divorce Allegra and marry you, he may decide that supporting 2 ex-wives is more than he wants. That's why I was going to ask Lawrence here if the envelope contains a prenuptial agreement for you to sign, but he says he doesn't know what's in it. You don't?
Your guess is as good as mine, my dear.
A prenuptial agreement? I hadn't thought it could be that. God, I hope so. I'm gonna find him and make him open and get some right now. I guess I just made her day. Darn.
It just occurred to me Peggy Sue could be my next stepmother.
Well, look on the bright side, Deborah. If you move back home, Peggy Sue can cook you grits for breakfast.
I'd rather eat gravel, and I'd rather die than live in this house with Father again.
Excuse me, Mrs. Vickers had me serve coffee in the parlor if any of you want some.
That sounds good with me. Ladies?
I'd like a cup.
I might need the caffeine if I get into another fight before this shindig is over.
Mom?
I'm kidding, dear. Maybe.
I was wondering when I'd catch you alone.
Oh, Mr. Blackwell.
It's Tony.
Mrs. Vickers said.
Oh, never mind what that old dragon told you. She's not around. You look worried, Edith. What's the matter?
It's Miss Beatrice.
Beatrice? You mean Miss Looney Tunes?
Don't say that. She just gets a little confused sometimes.
Sorry. I meant it in the nicest way. So, what's wrong? Tell me about it.
Miss Beatrice's behavior has become very odd lately.
Lately.
More than usual. She started taking things from around the house.
Things? What kind of things?
Well, mostly little decorative items, like a crystal ashtray, a Fabergé egg.
Oh, Fabergé! We're not talking cheap trinkets here.
I know, some of the objects are very valuable.
Well, what does she do with them? Sell them?
Oh, no. She hides them to take out and look at later, except she tends to forget where she puts them. We, the servants, are always finding things stuck away in the strangest places, but we put them back where they belong.
So? There's no harm done then. What's the problem?
We're afraid Mr. Worthington might have noticed that expensive items have gone missing. He might think some of us on the staff are stealing them. Those papers he had his lawyer bring in tonight, they could be our dismissal papers. Mine, Hollister's, Ina's, and Mrs. Vickers.
Well, if they are, you can tell him that you're all innocent and that his sister has the sticky fingers.
No! Don't you see? That's what we've been afraid of all along. We all care for Miss Beatrice a great deal. If we weren't here to protect her...
She would have been sent to a funny farm a long time ago. There, Edith. Don't cry. I can't stand to see a woman cry. It makes me want to take her in my arms. Like this. And kiss away the tears. Like this.
Oh, Tony. You mustn't. I mustn't.
There's a strong attraction between us, Edith. I know you feel it too. There's no need to fight it.
I can't. I'd be dismissed.
Edward doesn't have to know. What Edward doesn't know won't hurt us.
Oh, Tony.
Everything will be fine, my sweet. Just trust me.
Edith?
Oh!
The bunch in there slurping up coffee like camels out of watering hole. We'll need another pot. Tell Anna.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have the urge for something sweet, Mr. Blackwell, we'll be serving birthday cake shortly.
I beg your pardon.
You know what I mean. Edith is a mouse girl, and I tend to see she stays that way.
Is that a threat?
Take it any way you like. If I see you near Edith again, I'll tell Mr. Worthington what you've been up to. You know as well as I how he feels about you, and it won't take him much to throw you out of your ear.
Why, you!
Save your breath, you two-bit gigolo. Edith is off limits. You've been warned.
That witch!
I trust you're not referring to me, mother dear.
No, it's that housekeeper, Mrs. Vickers.
Did she catch you trying to raid the pantry?
No, I was just talking with the maid.
Uh-huh. I told you to leave her alone. Mrs. Vickers is very protective towards Edith.
So I found out.
Forget about the girl. We've got bigger worries.
Such as?
That document or whatever it is Edward is carrying around.
Well, what about
It could be our eviction notice.
it? What do you mean?
I mean, they could be divorce papers. If I lived out in the cold, you would be too, Tony. We'd both be penniless.
Divorce? Are things that bad between you?
Edward has grown tired of me, and I suspect he's already picked my replacement. At first I thought he was simply having a mild flirtation with that Dixie cream donut, Peggy Sue. But now, I'm not so sure.
Peggy Sue, I mean, she's a knockout, but you're more sophisticated than she is. More glamorous than she is.
20 years older than she is. That hominy-fed hussy has one thing I don't tell me. Youth. And that's one thing Edward's money can't buy me.
Edward's money. It should be your money too. If he hadn't made you sign an agreement.
But he did. I'm afraid the only way Edward's money can possibly become mine is if he were to drop dead before he divorced me.
Afraid there's not much of a chance of that happening anytime soon. Edward's as healthy as a horse.
Well, even horses have accidents.
I like that. you guys think?
Nothing, Tony. Nothing at all.
Mrs. Worthington? Mr. Blackwell?
Yes, Hollister, what is it?
Ina's bringing in the birthday cake. We thought we'd gather all the guests in here, where he can cut it and open his gifts.
Very good, Hollister. Where is Edward?
I don't know, madam. I haven't seen him since dinner.
Neither have we.
I'll look for him upstairs. Why don't you tell the others to come in here, Tony?
All right.
Get everything prepared. We'll be right back.
As you wish, madam.
Oh, hey, Hollister. You better have a towel ready. Before this party's over, someone might be crying their eyes out.
Keep that in mind, sir. If there's any justice, it will be you.
Set the cake here, Anna.
The cake looks beautiful, Ina. It's too good for the likes of Mr. Worthington. But thank you, Edith.
Watch what you say, Anna. You never know who might be listening.
If somebody snitches to that cold-hearted monster, let him. I'd have quit long ago if it weren't for Miss Beatrice.
We all would have. But we have to hold our tongues, for her sake.
She'd be lost without us.
Yes, I know, but it makes me so mad at times. At dinner, he had the nerve to say my whipped potatoes tasted a little odd. He did compliment the gravy, though. Said it was nice and thick. Oh, he was just trying to get on my good side. One of these days, I'll slice him up along with the roast beef. Oh, I know!
That's quite enough. Mr. Worthington left instructions that champagne is to be served with the cake. Anna, Edith, come with me.
I'd better check the downstairs bathroom for fresh hand towels.
Well, well. Seems my little envelope has created quite a stir. Just as I figured it would. Seems everyone under this roof will have a lot to answer for before the night is over.
Oh, we just made it. I knew the storm wouldn't last for much longer. Oh, Edward. Roy had to go get some fresh air. I had to go find him.
And you did? Well, miracles never cease.
Oh, you're joking. Well, it wasn't easy though. You have such a large estate.
Which, fortunately, I can afford. Can't I? Roy? I mean, my investments are sound, aren't they?
Of course, Edward. Why do you ask?
I haven't examined the books in quite a while. I say it's time to go over them together. Say, next week.
If you wish, I can schedule sometime next Friday afternoon.
Monday, 9 o'clock. Sharp.
Whatever you say.
It's party time. Be seated, everyone.
My goodness, Edward. I thought you had disappeared in thin air. Where on earth have you been?
Here and there. Have a seat, take two.
Don't mind if I do.
Place them on the table with the cake.
Remain, please. I wouldn't dream of leaving your servants out of the festivities.
Yes, Mr. Worthington.
And the last to arrive, but not least, my loving wife, Allegra. Come in, Allegra. Sit. The moment you've all been anxiously awaiting has arrived. Now, what should I do first? Cut the cake or open the gifts?
Oh, thank you.
Come on, gift.
The gifts. Are you sure? The cake looks delicious. You've outdone yourself, Ina.
Glad you like it.
I don't know if I can resist it till later. Ina did work hard to make it in my favor. What kind of cake is it, Ina?
Devil's food.
Oh, I'm frightened.
I suspect you're not the only one.
For goodness sakes, Edward, stop toying with us. You know no one cares about the cake, or the champagne, or the stupid gifts. Just tell us what's in the envelope.
So you prefer cutting to the chase to cutting the cake, do you, my dear? Since you're so consumed with curiosity to know, I'll get on with it. A harmless looking piece of paper, isn't it? But what a commotion it has caused.
Well, of course it has, Edward. You're holding someone's fate in your hands. More than one person's, possibly.
How right you are, daughter. How right you are.
Tell us whose, Edward.
We're just dying to know what's in the envelope.
Get on with that.
Please.
If you insist, I'll let you do the honors, my dear. Open it.
They're blank! Is this your idea of a joke?
Not at all. Sit down. I've suspected for some time that some, if not all of you, have been keeping secrets from me. Perhaps even plotting and scheming to do me harm. The hostility I feel in this room is so thick, you can cut it with that knife. I figured it was time to get it all out in the open. And I did. How did I accomplish this? With a little party game I devised. Let's call it the envelope game. By making you think there are papers inside that envelope that could expose your deceitful natures. Each and every one of you projected your worst fears onto it and discussed them amongst yourselves. All I had to do was stay out of sight and listen. And they all came tumbling out, your little secrets. And I heard them. Roy's private investments using my money. Tony's philandering. Deborah's failing grades. Justine's fear I'll cut off for support. Beatrice's kleptomania, which my faithful servants have helped cover up. I even learned inadvertently thanks to a comment Beatrice made, the main secret I set out to discover, namely the identity of one amongst you who has been quietly selling information to a Paul Jameson. That's the man who announced he's writing one of those malicious tell-all biographies about me. I believe the Bar Association frowns upon such unethical behavior. Lawrence.
What?
Sit down. I'll deal with you later. To conclude my litany of your offenses, there is my devoted wife, Allegra, who told her brother she would like to see me dead.
I didn't. You misunderstood me, Edward.
I understood perfectly. It seems the only one amongst you I can trust is my future bride, Peggy Sue.
Oh, Edward.
She's marrying me for my wealth, but at least she's honest enough to admit it.
Not just for the money, honey, but I love you too.
I believe you. Almost.
So what do we do now, Edward?
Peggy Sue and I are leaving. I've arranged a weekend getaway for us at a cozy little inn. When I return, I expect each and every one of you out of this house. Shortly, you'll all be out of my life. Forever.
The lights! Oh dear!
It must be the storm.
Ow, my butt!
Sorry about that.
Everyone, please remain calm. There's a backup generator for just such an occurrence. The lights will turn on automatically any moment now. There, you see?
I do now.
He's dead.
Freeze! Wasn't that exciting? K-roll, corn syrup, and red food coloring. I'll probably get a sugar rush like you wouldn't believe. As I'm sure you've guessed, that was the end of Act 1. At any rate, it's time for intermission, so you can stretch your legs and do whatever else you need to do. See you in 15 minutes. So, Edward Worthington III is dead, and one of you killed him. Welcome back. It's me, Walter. Act 1 came easily enough, but Act 2 is a tricky one. A murder has been committed and now must be solved. In some of my mysteries, I isolate the characters, say on an island, or a mountaintop, or in the woods during a blizzard. The murderer then cuts the phone lines, trapping everyone in there with him or her. In that type of situation, the murder is usually solved by an amateur sleuth among them. A Miss Marple or Jessica Fletcher, wannabe, For example, in other cases, such as this one, the murderer, I bring in a homicide detective to catch the culprit. I'll be playing just such a character, Lieutenant James McMillan. Well, I can't sit back and let them do all the work, can I? If you've been taking notes on how to commit a murder, you should have written down that you must provide your suspects with a motive and an opportunity to do in the victim. Each and every one of the characters in this play had the motive to kill Mr. Worthington, except for Peggy Sue, who stood to gain full fortune had he lived.
I have rotten luck.
Not as rotten as Edward's.
As I was saying, all but Miss Dixie Cup had the motive, and they all had the opportunity to stab the man in the back. Literally. In case you're curious how he created such a great special effect, during the blackout, Connie hid the cake knife under the pile of napkins, while Roy took a matching knife handle and stuck it onto the back of Edward's coat. From there, Edward slipped the blood capsule from his pocket into his mouth and bit down. Simple, huh? But I digress. In Act 2, Lieutenant McMillan, I will search for clues, question the suspects, and by its conclusion, discover who indeed murdered Edward Worthington III. Keep your eyes and ears open. Who knows, you might guess the killer's identity before I do. Now, on with the show. You've all told me as a group what had happened at this point. I intend to question each of you individually now. I'll start with you, Miss Brumley.
Thank goodness. I, for one, am anxious to wash my hands.
Everyone should before they get ink all over the furniture. Miss Beatrice has already started to finger paint the coffee tabletop.
Clumsy.
Don't fret, Miss Beatrice. Mrs. Vickers will clean it for you.
Oh, I've been dying to scratch. My hives, nerves.
I regret the inconvenience, but it's standard procedure to fingerprint all the suspects at a crime scene.
If we're excused, I'm going to my suite to cleanse my digits.
I recommend the parlor next door. There's a half bath across the hall where all the guests can wash their hands. The staff can wait in the kitchen until you're ready for us.
It's a good idea.
What would you like to know, Lieutenant McMillan?
Let's see. Miss Brumley, you said you're Mr. Worthington's personal secretary. How long have you served in that capacity?
A couple months now, I guess. I mean, I've worked for Worthington Enterprises for a few years, but when Edward's personal assistant retired last June, he pulled me from the secretarial pool and gave me your job.
Obviously, the relationship became very personal if he announced his intent to marry you tonight.
What can I say? It happens. I would have made Edward a good wife, Lieutenant. Better than that ice cube he was married to. Allegra can shoot you a look that can give you frostbite. If I had to guess, I'd say she's your murderer, Lieutenant Miller.
Possibly, but it's been my experience that a joke of spouse often strikes at the competition. In this case, you.
You mean, you think she would have gone after me with that cake sticker? God, the very idea just gives me shivers.
Mrs. Worthington might as well have killed the husband. All I'm saying is there are other possibilities.
I have to admit, you're right. I'd rather stitch my lips shut with a sewing machine than say something bad about anybody. But Allegra's brother, Tony, could have done for her. He's a charmer, but I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw a pigskin with a pig still in it. And Roy and Lawrence had good reasons to kill Edward, too. He was going to fire both of them. And he threatened to bring criminal charges against Roy, as well as to report Lawrence's dealings without writing Jamison to the Bar Association.
So I noted. His sister, daughter, ex-wife, and servants all had motives to end his life as well. Mrs. Phillips might as well have committed the crime to protect the husband. If there's anything worse than having no suspects in the murder case, it's having too many. Apparently, though, you're the only one who stood to lose, not gain, by Mr. Worthington's death. You're the only one I feel sure didn't stab the man.
Thank you ever so much. Then can I leave, Lieutenant McMillan? I'm about to absolutely collapse from exhaustion. But before I do anything else, I have to look over the classified ads.
Classifieds?
Why, yes, Lieutenant. When I lost Edward, I lost my job. If Allegra is going to be taking charge of Worthington Enterprises, you can bet your boots the first thing she'll do is give me the axe. I wish I hadn't said it like that. I just gave myself the shivers. A goose just walked over my grave.
I beg your pardon?
It's what we say in the South when we get the shivers. A goose just walked over my grave.
It's a quaint expression. Can't see how anyone would think poultry for the hereafter. I gather it's used to express a feeling of impending doom.
I guess so. In that case, I bet a whole flock of geese stopped over Edward's cemetery plot a few hours ago. Anyway, can I leave, Lieutenant McMillan?
Not yet. I might have some more questions for you after I talk to the others. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm happy to do whatever I can to help. I'll be in the parlor if you need me.
Pete? McMillan here. How's the fingerprints coming? That's it? The only ones you found on the weapon that weren't smudged were from the victims and his wife? Too bad. Everyone saw him give her that knife to open the envelope. What? You found traces of what? That could be a vital clue. Excellent work, Pete. Yeah. Then only one person could have logically left with it. If someone else. Afraid not. They've all been fingerprinted, as you know, and are washing their hands now. Yeah. Too bad. There goes evidence right down the drain. If I have to figure out who murdered Edward Worthington, I've got my work cut out for me. No, that wasn't meant to be a pun. Thanks again, Pete. Check you later.
You rang, sir?
Yes. Edith, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Will you ask the other servants to come to me, please, as well as yourself?
Yes, Lieutenant.
You wish to see us, Lieutenant McMillan?
I do. Be seated, please. I have a few more questions concerning what took place today.
I don't know how we can help you. We were in the kitchen most of the evening.
It's what took place in the kitchen that I need to know about at this point. I'm specifically interested in finding out about the murder weapon, the knife.
My knife? What about my knife?
Where is it usually kept?
In the butcher block. It's part of a set.
It's seldom there, though. It's Iva's favorite kitchen tool.
That's true. I use it to slice and dice everything. Not including people, if that's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking anything at the moment.
A good sharp knife is hard to come by. I'd like to have it back once the case is closed. Or is that too morbid?
That's too morbid.
I assumed you used the knife while preparing dinner, right?
Naturally. I chopped some fresh chives and sprinkled them on the whipped potatoes.
What else was said?
Roast beef, gravy, Brussels sprouts,
A salad?
congealed jello and fruit.
At first, I considered titling the play The Blood, like Jello, congeals. But then I thought, no, that's pretty gross. I don't want to see a play with that title. Would you? So you didn't prepare a salad, say, oil and vinegar?
No, sir.
Mr. Worthington couldn't stand lettuce.
I heard him say once that if he had been meant to eat green, leafy foods, he would have been born a rabbit.
I see. What did you do with the knife after the meal was prepared, Ina?
Washed it, of course, along with the other utensils in the dishwasher.
Who touched it after that?
I did. Ina told me to take it out of the dishwasher and put it on the tray with the forks and saucers and things for the birthday cake. It was still damp, so I wiped it off with a dish towel.
Nobody else touched it after that? There were no fingerprints except possibly yours or traces of food on it after you brought the knife in here?
No, sir. It wasn't out of my sight the whole time.
That's what I need to know. You've all been very helpful.
If it's a matter of any of our fingerprints being on the knife.
It isn't that, Hollister. The only discernible fingerprints we found on the weapon that weren't smudged belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Worthington, whom we've known touched them.
I see.
Then how can we help?
I'll explain later, I hope. For now, I need to take a quick look around the kitchen, if I may.
Of course. Right this way, Lieutenant.
Edith,
Tony, what are you doing here?
close the curtains.
Were you eavesdropping on us?
No, I just happened to be listening in this direction. So, murderer didn't leave any prints on the knife, huh?
Unless it was Mrs. Worthington.
Sis? Nah, I wasn't her.
How can you be sure?
Well, for one thing, Allegra was sitting in front of it. Edward was behind her. If she were to have grabbed the knife and struck him with it, she would have hit him in the chest.
Maybe, but Mr. Worthington could have turned to start toward the light switch.
Clever girl, as well as pretty. I knew you were special from the moment I laid eyes on you.
You shouldn't.
I know. That's what makes it so much fun. Come on, let's slip outside where we can be alone.
Lieutenant McMillan will want to question you too.
Nah, not for a while. He's busy in the kitchen with Betty Crocker lurching the happy homemaker. Come on!
But it's cold outside.
Don't worry, I'll keep you warm.
He thinks I did it. I know that policeman thinks I killed Edward.
Why should he, Roy? Why should he suspect you any more than the rest of us?
I know he doesn't believe that I put those funds in my account on Edward's behalf.
Why not? I believe you.
That doesn't count for my wife.
I think it counts. I think a wife should do anything she can to help her husband.
Even commit murder?
Oh my goodness, you think I murdered Edward? That's silly. You know how klutzy I am, Roy. If I would have tried to grab a knife in the dark, I probably would have cut a pinky off.
That's true. If not yours, someone else's. Have you seen the lieutenant? I'd like to volunteer to be questioned first and get it over with. My nerves are shot.
When I came out of the half bath across the hall a few minutes ago, I saw Edward on his way to the kitchen with the servants.
I meant to ask you, why were you in there so long?
I was searching the medicine cabinet for some calamine lotion. I didn't find any, but that's okay. The itching stopped.
Good.
I'm getting better, honey. Before today, I hadn't broken out in hives in so long, the scratches on my arms cleared up.
I noticed, Connie. It was nice having a wife who didn't look like an inept lion tamer for a change.
I was thinking about buying some short-sleeve dresses, but I guess that's out now.
I would say so. Connie, did you see any aspirin in that medicine chest when you were looking through it? I have one of my excruciating headaches.
I'm sorry, Roy, I didn't see any aspirin, but I'll bet Allegra keeps some in the guest suite upstairs. I'll run up and look.
I had better come with you. With your sense of direction, you could end up in the neighbor's bathroom.
Oh, right. Poor Edward. He didn't even get to open his presents. I think he would have liked the sweater we got him.
Maybe you could return it to Walmart for a refund. Have you seen Edith? No, we haven't. Excuse us.
Uh-huh.
There's got to be something to put them in here. They were just on the hall table next to the half bath.
I'm sure they were in there when I went in, but when I came out, they were lying in the closet.
Here's a vase. Put them in it.
All right. There's something inside. What? Little colored pebbles.
Oh, no problem. So, where is the lieutenant?
Shouldn't we wait in the parlor until he's ready to question us?
Why? No one else is. I wish whoever killed Edward would just fess up so we could all go home. But I don't suppose that's likely to happen.
Mom, you didn't do it, did you? Kill Father?
No, dear. I can't take credit for that. I was always cutting him down, but I didn't do it literally.
I hope you can convince the lieutenant of that.
He seems like a pretty smart guy. the lieutenant. He should know that if I was going to kill Edward, I'd have done it 10 years ago when he left us to marry Allegra, the shark woman. He'll have a hard time proving I killed my ex in a fit of anger that lasted 10 years. If anyone could hold a grudge that long, you could, Justine. Except, you wouldn't have needed a knife. With that sharp tongue of yours, you could have licked him to death. Speak of the devil and she appears. I'm surprised you didn't take this opportunity to go out and buy a new black dress. With what? You know I don't have any money of my own, and I'm sure Edward's accounts will be frozen for quite some time. Good point. Speaking of money, the fact that Edward was supporting Deborah and me should be reason enough that I didn't kill him. I'm not dumb enough to slay the goose that was laying the golden eggs. But tonight he threatened to cut off your income. So, he's done that for years. Every time I ticked him off, which was often. Maybe if he actually did stop the alimony checks, I'd consider homicide. But not until then.
The very idea! Oh,
I can explain.
what's going on?
A meeting of Edward's wives, past, present, and future. We were just waiting for you to join us.
What's going on out there?
This snake in the grass, Lawrence, tried to make a pass at me.
Peggy Sue?
Keep your scaly hands to yourself. I was telling Lawrence how I'll be looking for a new job now that Edward's dead. He offered me one at his firm, and then tried to show me some fringe benefits. If Eddie had seen what you tried to do, he'd be spinning in his grave. If he were here again.
How could Father see Lawrence if he were in his grave?
Oh, you know what I meant.
I felt a tremendous attraction to you for a long time, Peggy Sue, but I couldn't tell you as long as Edward
Was alive. Well, well, it seems like Edward's trusted lawyer had yet another motive to murder him. For once, I agree with you, Allegra, although it hurts me like a toothache to admit it.
No, I wouldn't kill Edward just because I too have romantic feelings for Peggy Sue.
It's a good thing, because I would have had you on a Christmas tree.
Why? Because I'm not rich. That's a tribute to your boss, wasn't it? His millions.
What if it was? I'm tired of being poor. As my grandma always told me, love is fleeting, honey, but money lasts forever.
Are you sure you're not a descendant of Scarlett O'Hara?
That ought to teach him a lesson.
Mrs. Vickers, you shouldn't have.
Can't say I didn't warn him. Don't mind us, we're just passing through.
But,
Wonder what that was all about.
Oh, I don't believe she just did that.
Tony, your nose!
Oh, it's nothing compared to what my eyes gonna look like.
Maybe next time you'll listen to me. Come on, I'll wet a towel on the half bath and clean it off. Doesn't anyone use the front door around here? When I lived here, we used to use the front door all the time.
you men, you're all alike.
What? I'm nothing like Tony. I was only trying to comfort you.
Sure you were. If you had comforted me any further, my dad would come after you with a shotgun.
Everyone's back in here. Are we playing a new game?
No, Aunt V, we wouldn't dream playing one without you.
That's sweet, Deborah. One of these days I'll surprise you and win one. Are there any nibbles in here? I was saving them for birthday cake, so I didn't eat much dinner. Then nobody cut it.
I noticed you barely touched at your roast beef and you didn't even look at your whipped potatoes.
There was some mint in here earlier. Now, where did they go to? Never mind.
Come sit, Aunt V. I'll get you something.
I have to make a phone call if you ladies will excuse me.
Gladly.
I bet he's off to tell that writer fellow the good news.
Good news? What good news?
That Edward has gone to meet his maker. On second thought, I doubt that's where he's headed. Anyways, Lawrence is a very lucky lawyer. Not only is the man who's going to have him this far dead, but I'm sure that Jameson fellow will pay a fortune for a first-hand account of Edward's murder. With a climax like that, Edward Worthington III's biography would be a huge bestseller.
I told you Lawrence was a snake.
You'll get no argument from me.
Did someone ring? Yes, Edith. My aunt is a little hungry, and I was wondering if you could find something to serve her in the kitchen.
Yes, Miss Deborah, but it might take me a minute. That police detective is searching through everything in the kitchen. The refrigerator, the cabinets, everywhere. But I'll do what I can. He's searching the kitchen. Wonder what for. Maybe he's hungry too.
You should have paid more attention to the label.
I'm sorry, honey. It was an accident.
Perhaps I should see the doctor.
I don't know what he would do. Oh, hello again, everybody. What's wrong, Roy? You look a little green around the gills.
Still have, one of my ferocious headaches. We couldn't find any aspirin in Allegra's medicine chest, so my wife went to look in the guest suite bathroom. Stupid me swallowed the pill she brought me without looking closely at them.
It wasn't aspirin?
Well, no, it wasn't aspirin. There was a vial of big orange pills that looked like the prescription strength most when Roy takes at home for his headaches. I gave him a few of those before I read on the label that they were Premarin instead. I only gave you 4.
Premarin? What's Premarin?
Double-strength estrogen.
Connie, if Roy gets a sudden urge to try one of your dresses, you'll know why.
Oh, stop it!
Maybe we should sit down.
Connie, Edith is bringing some snacks if you'd like to join us.
Oh, good. Maybe having something on Roy's stomach will absorb the...
It's hot here, it's hot here. Why is it suddenly so hot here?
Trust me, it'll pass. Isn't that better?
I can't breathe.
So which would you rather do? Bleed or breathe?
I'll be fine this way.
I need to sit down.
Tony, what happened?
Mrs. Vickers poked me in the nose.
That mean old thing, if I were you, I'd scratch your eyes out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Allegra. Roy took some of your Premarin by mistake. I thought it was Motrin.
What's Premarin?
Female hormones.
Oh, why don't you just go tell everyone? I'm sorry, come over me.
Dear, what's the matter with Mr. Phillips? He's got in touch with his feminine side.
Actually, it's because of my feminine side. It was my prescription he took.
If you've got any pills left, can I have a few? I want to slip some into Lawrence's drink and see how he likes to get pinched on.
Whatever happened to topics of conversation I can understand, like the weather.
Hey, stop.
Let's talk about her. Look, I know I told you I wouldn't stoop to using low humor, but Roy and the estrogen bit got a little out of hand. Straighten up, Roy.
Oh, all right.
Tony, take the toilet paper out of your purse. You look like a walrus.
Oh, that's a relief.
Now then, let's talk about murder.
So, Lieutenant Miller, do you know who killed my husband?
My ex-husband, my future husband.
Little Bubba.
Not yet, but the head of our crime lab, Pete, passed on some interesting information that might prove to be relevant.
I don't suppose you could tell us what that is.
When the time is right.
Excuse me, Lieutenant McMillan. Miss Deborah said Miss Beatrice was hungry and requested we bring in some food.
After Mr. Worthington's announcement, no one seemed to have much of an appetite for dinner. I mean, my roast was barely eaten, and nobody touched my Brussels sprouts.
There are plenty of hors d'oeuvres left as well, so we brought them out.
Oh, good. Nibbles.
Maybe?
Sir. Mrs. Vickers, all the household seems to have migrated back to the living room except for Mr. Tate. Will you find him, please, and ask him to join us?
Yes, Lieutenant.
The snake slithered into the parlor a few minutes ago.
Please, help yourselves.
You wanted to see the lieutenant?
Yes, Mr. Tate, join us, please. Staff, you'll remain as well.
Lieutenant McMillan, I have a headache and don't feel at all well.
Something you ate, no doubt.
If you're ready to question us, I'd like to volunteer to go first to get it over with.
That's fine, Mr. Phillips, but I'm not going to question you. They are. As I mentioned earlier, I intended to question each of the suspects individually in this act. but my call at the crime lab furnished an important clue I had to follow up on. In order to conclude this play at a decent hour, which I'm sure you would appreciate, we need to speed things up. Can you raise the house lights, please? At this point, I'm going to allow you to question or accuse the suspect you believe to be the murderer. Since Mr. Phillips volunteered to go first, let's start with him. Keep in mind, the killer will no doubt lie to protect himself or herself. Will any of you in the audience think Mr. Phillips murdered Mr. Worthington? Please raise your hand. And you have a question or a comment for the suspect, keep your hand raised. I'll call on you in turn. You.
How many other bank accounts did you open? Besides the one that you found out about?
How many other bank accounts did you open besides the one that you found out about?
So, in case the ghost of Edward is here, this is all a lie, just so you know. There were multiple. I hate to say it, but Connie needed some money for Walmart, and we were a little broke, so I had to take some.
Okay. Does anyone else have a question for Mr. Phillips? Going once. Twice. You.
Where was the butler when the lights went out?
Where was the butler when the lights went out?
I don't know. Where were you? Right there.
Yes, one more, this way.
He went out in the storm, but he didn't get wet.
Why didn't you go wet when you went outside into the storm and came back?
As my wife Connie said, we got in here right before the storm started to happen and get all rainy, you know? That's why we ran in the door, because we were about to get soaked.
Okay, let's move on to Connie, his wife. Does anyone here have a question for Connie? If you do, raise your hand. You. Right there.
Is this your real personality, or are you putting us on because you're guilty?
Is this your real personality, or are you putting us on because you're guilty, Connie?
What are you talking about?
Why would you say that about my wife?
She's behaving very suspiciously.
Maybe you just need to learn how to pay attention more.
Okay. Any other questions for Connie? You.
So you were outside for a long time. Did you make your Walmart while you were outside?
You know, I would always take opportunity to go to Walmart, but I was really worried about Roy, and I was having a really hard time finding him because this manor is huge. No, I was looking for Roy the whole time, believe it or not. I got lost.
Okay. One more question for Connie, anyone? You up there.
How far would you go for your husband?
How far would you go for your husband, Connie?
Well, I love Roy very, very much, but I wouldn't say I would go as far as murdering someone. I mean, that's insane. I would never do something like that. I love him very dearly, but murder, that's a little much, I would say.
Okay. Let's move on to Deborah, Edward's daughter. Does anyone here have a question for Deborah? Yes, you down there.
I'm going to college to become a chiropractor.
Okay. Does anyone else have a question for Deborah? You.
So, what extracurricular activities were you doing to be failing your classes?
What extracurricular activities were you doing to fail your classes, Deborah?
I mean, I took on fencing. That was fun, but it took a lot of my time out of my day, and that's how I started failing classes. And I took an 8 a.m. class, and college is hard, and so that's why.
Just making sure I didn't know if there was any other relations.
Okay. One more question for Deborah, anyone? All right, down there.
Are you in therapy for your daddy issues?
I'm not repeating that one, Deborah. All right, let's move on to Beatrice. here believe Beatrice murdered her brother? If you do and have a question, raise your hand. You.
How much older are you than Edward?
How much older are you than Edward, Beatrice?
Now let me see. When was Edward born? Maybe 12 years? I don't know. I haven't looked in the calendar in a very long time.
Okay. How about you? Why didn't you eat much of your dinner, Beatrice?
What was the question?
Why didn't you eat much of your dinner?
Oh, I don't know. I'm saving her for birthday cake, you know. I love cake, and I had already eaten so many nibbles. I guess my appetite for dinner was just completely gone. Then I wind up feeling hungry afterwards. Maybe I should have eaten dinner.
All right, you up here.
What's your favorite nibble?
What's your favorite nibble, Beatrice?
Oh dear, there's so many great nibbles out there when Edward has his little parties, but I suppose I really like cucumber sandwiches. Those are always great.
All right, it's Ian's turn. The cook. Does anyone here have a question for Ian? You, down there. Yes.
Did you actually go to chef school to become a qualified chef?
Did you actually go to chef school to become a qualified chef, Ina?
That's not a thing. I just applied.
Okay, you.
Why does everybody shiver when they eat your potatoes? Did you poison them?
I would never poison my whipped potatoes.
All right, one more question for Ina, anyone? Yeah.
How do you whip potatoes? I've only ever heard them called mashed potatoes.
Well, it's very simple. To whip potatoes, you just have to whip the potatoes. With a whip.
All right, let's move on to Edith, the maid. Does anyone here have a question for Edith? You.
So, are you jealous of Peg Sue because Edward didn't go after you, but he went after his personal secretary?
I am not jealous of Peggy Sue at all. It's not a professional work environment, I would say.
I'm jealous of me.
All right, you down here.
Were you afraid he was going to find out about you and Tony?
Were you afraid that he was going to find out about you and Tony, Edith?
I wouldn't say I was afraid. I trust Mr. Blackwell a great deal, and I knew whatever happened would be just fine.
All right, one more question for Edith, anyone? You.
What do you see in Tony?
What do you see in Tony, Edith?
I think Mr. Blackwell is very sweet. He's a very sweet man. He did ask me earlier if what was wrong, and no one around here generally does that. I'm sorry. But I just thought it was a very nice gesture, and it's a very sweet thing for him to do.
All right, let's move on to Mrs. Vickers. Will any of you raise your hand with the question? You. Why did she punch Tony in the face?
Have you seen him? Very simple, really. He has a really punchable face. I think it's just the shape.
Be nice. Anyone else have a question? Yes, you. Where's Mr. Vickers?
Sensitive subject.
All right, let's move on. One more question. You. Why do you hate Tony's and Edith's relationship?
Vickers.
Well, the playboy ego he has is not fit for Edith, and I'd say Edith deserves a lot better. I don't know what she sees in him. I don't know what he sees in himself. But
You better watch it.
better watch.
All right, it's Hollister's turn. Does anyone have a question for the Butlers? You.
I see you wear gloves most of the time. How many sets of gloves do you have?
How many sets of gloves do you have, Hollister?
I have one for each day of the week.
You.
How do you feel about the phrase the butler did?
How do you feel about the phrase "the butler did it," Hollister?
I find that it's highly stereotypical, and I find that it is not at all applicable to this situation. Thank you.
All right. One more question. You.
So, on the night I recall there was no fingerprint prints, and you're the only one who wears gloves.
That is correct. But should I bring up the fact that there were no other fingerprints besides Worthington's and Allegra's, but there were smudged fingerprints? And while, yes, I'm wearing gloves, maybe the fingerprints just didn't come out clean enough to identify amongst this group.
All right. Let's move on to Mr. Tate, Edward's lawyer. Does anyone have a question for Mr. Tate?
Good.
Seems no one but you, down there.
Would you ever keep secrets from Edward?
Would you ever keep secrets from Edward?
I mean, yeah, I have other clients that I work with. He doesn't even know everything about them. So, sure, we'll go with that.
You down here.
Do you think if you were called guilty, do you think you could fight your way out of court and be scot-free?
On the off chance that that would happen, which it won't, obviously I could. Have you seen me?
Looking right at you.
Then why did you ask the question?
Just making sure for your liability.
Okay, one more question right here. What does Paul Jameson work in, Mr. Tate?
So I think people are getting a little confused about who this Paul is. Paul is a good friend of mine. We've worked in the business for a long time. I don't know where the selling of information is coming from, but I think you're just crazy. So,
Let's move on to Edward's wife, Allegra. Does anyone here have a question for Allegra? Yes, you down there.
Are you and Tony really brother and sister?
Oh, of course we are. Can you see the resemblance?
Possibly have a different reason for murdering Edward.
A different. Why would I murder my husband?
Because then you and Tony could share the wealth.
Why would we need to do that? I mean, we would be fine on our own as long as we have each other. That's all I need.
Help each other out.
Yeah.
You're good swords.
What?
Do either of you work?
Of course not. Why would I work when I live here?
Edward gets all the money I need.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have another question? You. What do you do all day since you don't have a job, Allegra?
Oh, you know, I find things to do. Sometimes I like to take strolls out in the garden. I like to do my nails, because that's one thing I do like to do myself. And I like to play some board games, you know, the typical things.
All right. Any more questions? You.
Are you jealous of Peggy
Are you jealous of Peggy
Sue for stealing your husband?
Sue for stealing your husband?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm jealous because Peggy Sue has nothing on me. Edward just couldn't see that. But,
Have you seen yourself?
oh my goodness! No, I'm not jealous of Peggy Sue.
Okay. Let's move on to Tony. Mr. Blackwell. Does anyone have a question for Tony? Yes. You.
Tony, have you always been a playboy or have you ever had a job?
Have you always been a playboy or have you ever had a job, Tony?
Well, I I worked at this little place in my hometown. It was like a little restaurant place. It was pretty nice, but ever since I've grown up and ever since my loving sister here has married Edward, I don't see the point of having a job.
Okay. Yes, you.
You batted your eyes at me, but can you handle this?
Miss, I indeed agree. You are a very lovely woman. I really can't say. You have to find out.
He's a good man.
I'm a great man. Okay.
Yes, you. What are your thoughts on Edith? Tell me.
On Edith? I think she's wonderful. She's beautiful and has a great personality. And that's all.
All right, let's move on to Justine, Edward's ex-wife. Who here has a question for Justine? You.
Have you been on any dates since you divorced Edward? And if so,
Not that you need to know. But no, I have not been on any, as I really try to work on myself. Yes.
Anyone else have a question for Justine? You.
Why did I kill Edward? Why would I kill someone? To kill my ex-husband, who I have been separated from for 10 years. I would never do that.
Okay. One more question, anyone? Justine. You.
How much money will you make if he's dead versus when he's alive?
Well, when he's dead, I make no money. But when he was alive, I made quite a lot.
All right. One more question for anyone on this cast. Does anyone have one more question? You. Where was Tony when the lights went out?
Well, when the lights went out, I was kind of hobbling over the place because clumsy one over here stamped on my foot. Now, I started over here, but I kind of just wandered around the living room and such. So, as you know, Edward was all over there, so we can be pretty certain that I'm free.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Now that we've reviewed our suspect's motives and actions, we can proceed to the climax of the play and reveal who indeed murdered Edward Worthington III. House lights. As we've learned, any of you could have killed Mr. Worthington. Only one of you did the deed. The question is, who?
Beatrice, what on earth are you doing?
Getting rid of the black things. I don't like them.
My goodness, don't throw the olive slices onto the floor. I thought they were bugs.
So did I.
Olive slices.
Black olives, Lieutenant McMillan. I put slices of them on some of the hors d'oeuvres.
I gather, Miss Worthington, that you removed the olives from your hors d'oeuvres earlier tonight before you ate them.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant. I never eat them. They taste nasty.
I see. Did anyone else move the olives from your hors d'oeuvres earlier tonight?
I confess. I, too, picked one pimento from an hors d'oeuvre and placed it on the next. Surely playing with your food isn't a crime, Lieutenant. Shouldn't you be solving Edward's murder?
That's exactly what I'm doing. In fact, I now know who the murderer is. Edith, you stated you wiped the cake knife with a dish towel after it had been cleaned in the dishwasher. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And nobody else touched her after that until Mr. Worthington and then his wife?
That's right. But what does that have
Then
to do?
only one person could have left the substance of what my lab chief found on the handle. Oil. Olive oil.
That's what you were searching the kitchen for.
Yes, but I was looking for bottled olive oil that you cook with.
I don't use it. I prefer Crisco.
So I noted. It didn't occur to me to look for a job olives themselves. Obviously, they were the trace of what Miss Worthington passed from her fingers to the murder weapon.
Oh no.
Miss Worthington, will you come with me, please?
With you, I suppose. Where are we going, Lieutenant?
To jail. I'm arresting you for the murder of your brother, Edward Worthington III.
You think I killed little Bubba? Well, maybe I did. I don't remember very well. It was so confusing in the dark. Go on, B.
Wait, Lieutenant McMillan. Miss Beatrice didn't kill anyone. She couldn't hurt a fly. I murdered the master.
What do you know? The butler did it. Good for you, Hollister. If you were going to the slammer, I'd give you a raise.
Please, ladies, this is no laughing matter.
Who's joking?
You had better explain.
Yes, sir. You see, I've grown very fond of Miss Beatrice over the years. The reason I never married her, though, is because I love her deeply, but I could never tell her so, of course. It wouldn't be proper.
Hollister. How sweet.
I was terrified Mr. Worthington would send you away as is. When the lights went out and you stepped past me in the dark towards the table.
How did you know that?
I smelled her perfume. Primrose. And I heard the knife clatter as Miss Beatrice picked it up. I feared that she intended to use it to stab her brother. I couldn't let that happen, so I felt for her hand in the dark and took the weapon from her.
And stabbed the man yourself?
I hadn't intended to, but he fell back against me, and the knife... I don't expect you to believe it was an accident.
Oh, Hollister. I wasn't going to kill Edward. He was my little Bubba. I thought the knife was pretty. It had such a nice, shiny blade. So, when no one could see, I was going to hide it. I like to hide away lovely things.
I understand, Miss Beatrice, and I apologize for misjudgment. It appears that I've made an unfortunate mistake, and I'm prepared to do penance for the deed.
Oh, Hollister, you've been a real gentleman's gentleman. Up until you killed yours, of course.
Thank you, I know. And I trust that you, and Edith, and Mrs. Vickers will continue to look after Miss Beatrice. I fear I shall not be returning.
You bet we will.
Don't you worry about that.
We'll take care of her.
So let's go to the parlor. I need to give headquarters a call.
As you wish, sir.
The rest of you remain here. Since you all witnessed Hollister's confession, I need to take your statements later.
Dear, dear man. Come sit, Albie. We'll make sure to get a good lawyer to defend him.
A good lawyer? I'd like to know how you plan to pay for one. I appreciate Hollister for getting rid of the old ogre, but I don't intend to spend a fortune on defending him.
You're a cruel and greedy woman, Allegra.
And those are her better qualities. Needless to say, you and your brat won't be getting any more handouts either. And as for Beatrice, I'm afraid Hollister's efforts were in vain. A rest home is where she belongs, and I intend to send her to one. The cheapest one I can find.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I know, sis. Yes, she would. And so would I.
Wow, you're horrible. Oh, Mrs. Vickers, you were right. Tony's a terrible man.
I figured you'd realize that sooner or later. I'm just glad it's sooner.
While I'm cleaning, I expect your resignation tomorrow, Roy. From what we've all learned tonight, your business methods leave a lot to be desired.
But I explained.
Oh, Roy wouldn't. Oh, I don't blame you for what you did. I just don't want you doing it with my money.
But it's not your money, and it never will be.
What?
Edward had a will. I'll schedule a formal reading later, but I'll give you the gist of it for now. He left everything to his daughter Deborah with two provisions. First, that should she marry, she shall retain her maiden name, and if she should produce a son, she'll name him Edward Worthington IV, after him.
I don't have any problem with that.
He also stipulated that you were to provide for his sister Beatrice's care for the rest of her life.
I would have done so gladly anyways. Gee, Mom, I guess Father did care something about me.
What do you know? The old boy had a heart after all. But what about me? He owes me something too. I gave him the best years of my life.
From what he told me, that's not saying a lot.
Oh, shut up. Well, Lawrence, what did Edward leave me?
Your Louis Vuitton luggage and as many of your clothes as you can fit inside of them, period.
Luggage? You mean I killed the old tightwad for nothing?
Sis!
I too heard the knife clatter when Beatrice picked it up, and I saw it glimmer faintly. I knew someone was behind him holding it. I didn't know
Seems you're gonna have another use for these, Hollister.
I'm happy to return them, sir.
Sis, don't say anything else.
It appears that advice is too late, Mr. Blackwell. When Hollister said the victim fell against the blade, he was telling the truth. He isn't the murderer, but the woman who pushed her husband onto the blade is. Allegra Worthington. I'm arresting you for the murder of your husband, Edward Worthington III.
Take me away! I don't care! Just take me out of this house!
My pleasure. My officers are on the way in the squad car right now.
Good riddance! I can't believe it. Someone finally used the front door.
Hollister, you sweet man. Why didn't you tell me how you felt ages ago?
It wouldn't have been the correct thing to do, Miss Beatrice.
Hippo, we'll discuss this subject later, in private.
Yes, madam.
Hollister, I think it would benefit you more if you were no longer Aunt Bee's butler. I think it's time you take retirement with a very generous pension, and you're welcome to stay at the Worthington Manor for as long as you'd like.
Oh, Miss Deborah.
Mrs. Vickers, Ina, Edith, you all are like family to me. You have shown me more love than Father ever could, and I hope that you never leave.
Deborah, about my job.
It's no doubt that we invested Father's money brilliantly, Roy, but your business methods are a little questionable. I expect you to meet me every Friday, but if I see anything irregular...
You won't. The numbers will be like textbook examples, I swear.
Fine.
Roy, does that mean you still have your job?
Yes, Connie.
Oh, good. The Walmart's having a fall blowout sale tomorrow, and I'll be there when the doors open.
Whatever you say.
Oh, if you're going to be taking over the management of the company, Deborah, you're going to need a good lawyer, now more than ever.
Of course, Mom and I will be able to find a great one that doesn't betray his client's confidence.
You mean I'm fired?
Like a gas grill on the 4th of July, baby. And you can tell that writer, fellow Jameson, that if he intends to finish his book, he's wasting his time. If anyone should write a biography, it should be me, his first wife, who was also there to witness his murder. That would knock all other versions right off the bookstore shelves.
Mom, are you really?
Yes, dear, if you'll help me. Your father was a tyrant, but he was my tyrant. And I'm sure if I think hard enough, I could think of a few nice things to say about him. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. He did sign the alimony checks after all, and he did take care of me and Aunt Bee.
If you need someone to take shorthand and type it up, I'm a darn good secretary.
Mom.
Why not? You took Edward away from Allegra and gave her a taste of her own medicine. I guess I owe you something for that.
You can stay on board, Peggy Sue.
Thank you ever so much. To be honest, I'm glad I could be working for women for a change. Maybe all the bruises where I keep getting pinched will finally clear up.
I guess that covers everyone but me. Where do I stand?
Out in the cold, Tony. Edith summed you up perfectly, and you're a terrible man. If I see you here after night, I'll stick the dogs on you.
Dogs? You don't own any dogs.
I'll buy some. Apparently, Lieutenant McMillan's men are on the way. Allegra is going behind bars for a long, long time.
Oh, but she has one thing going for her.
What's that, Mom?
She's always looked good in stripes.
Constructed for your edification and enjoyment. Speaking for the playwright, I am his alter ego, you recall. Hope you all had a good time. All of us did. Good night.
Thank you.